The Soviet Air Force of World War II is famous for its brutal loss rates and its swarm tactics. But, less discussed is the deliberate, calculated use of the aircraft itself as the final weapon. Western air forces called ramming an act of last resort. The Soviets turned it into a studied maneuver. One pilot, Boris Kovzan, did not just survive one ramming attack. He performed 4. And his third mission of that kind rewrote what commanders believed a human body could withstand. By October 1941, German air superiority near Leningrad was almost absolute. Kovzan flew an I-16, a wooden radial-engined beast nicknamed the Donkey for its stubborn, unforgiving handling. The enemy's Beef-109s were faster, climbed harder, and dove away with a contemptuous ease. Soviet ramming Terran was not madness. It was doctrine when guns failed or, ran dry. Guns jam, ammo zero, fuel low, ramming authorized. The technique was, precise. Strike the enemy's tail or wing with your propeller blade, never with your fuselage. A metal blade would slice the Germans' control cables like a saw through wet cardboard. This required a closing speed near 400 miles per hour, and honestly, a nerve surgeons would envy. On October 29, 1941, Kovzan executed his first ram. And Mi-109 just fell apart, and he landed with 2 bent blades. His second ram, that same winter, came after his ammunition cooked off and, his oil pressure failed. He sent the enemy down alive. The German pilot later confirmed the strike in interrogation logs. August 13, 1942. Kovzan was leading a flight of 4 I-16s against a dozen Ju-88 bombers and their escorts. He downed 1 bomber, burned through his cannon shells, then found a Mi-110 heavy fighter on his wingman. Gun silent, fuel low. He chose the propeller again. He aimed for the Germans' left vertical stabilizer, the standard smart strike. But the Mi-110 turned unexpectedly. Kovzan's left wing smashed directly into the German's cockpit. The impact tore Kovzan's canopy off, snapped his harness, and threw his face into the gun sight. He lost his left eye instantly. Blood sheeted across his remaining vision. The I-16 fell vertically, trailing fabric and fuel spinning like a maple seed. He did not eject. The Soviet Union had no ejection seats. He fell with the wreck. At 600 meters, he dragged himself out of the collapsing cockpit and pulled the parachute ring. He landed in a marsh. His left eye was destroyed. His right arm was broken in 4 places. Ribs, 6. Partisans found him 3 hours later. They carried him 20 kilometers on a stretcher made of birch poles. He spent 10 months in a hospital. Doctors rebuilt his face with bone grafts from his hip. He returned to combat in June 1944, with one eye flying a MiG-3 and shot down a German spotter plane. His 4th ram? Never officially confirmed, but his squadron logs record a Ju-88 that broke apart over the Baltic. Boris Kovzan received the Gold Star of the Hero of the Soviet Union on a rainy morning in August 1943. His actions directly influenced post-war Soviet designs for reinforced propeller hubs and armored leading edges. Why does this matter today? Because air power often fixates on technology over the pilot's physical limit. Kovzan proved that the human limit is not where the bone breaks. It is where the will refuses to quit. 4 rams, 1 eye, 400 combat sorties. In an age of drones and standoff missiles, the logic of the ram is obsolete. The virtue behind it is not. Subscribe to War Machiner and share this if you value history that goes deeper.